The Generous Man and His Smart Wife. Once in a village lived a kind-hearted man, Shyam, with his wife, Madhu. Although being poor, he was a generous man. Every day, he would bring guests home for lunch. Often the couple would go hungry after serving the guests. Madhu tried to tell her husband that it was difficult to feed guests when they were themselves struggling to have 2 meals a day, but Shyam wouldn't listen and say, God will be pleased when guests are fed. Madhu realized that it was impossible to make her husband understand this and decided to find a way to discourage the guests from dropping in for lunch. One morning, Shyam asked his wife to cook lunch for 3 guests and said, "You can expect them by noon." Madhu knew that there was not enough rice or dal to cook for 3 people, but was not able to tell Shyam about it as one of his friends had arrived early and was with him. A little while later, Shyam left with his friend and told his wife that he would be back by noon. When Shyam left, Madhu got an idea. She took out a mortar and pestle used for pounding rice and then put some kumkum and haldi on the pestle and placed it in the hall. At noon, the guests came. Madhu invited them in with a smile. The guests were surprised to see the mortar and pestle being worshipped and kept in the hall. So they asked Madhu the reason for that. Madhu told them, "My husband had taken a vow that he would hit his guests on their heads with the pestle before serving them the meals." Hearing this, the guests' faces turned pale. Seeing this, Madhu added, "Don't worry, he won't hit you hard, just a gentle tap." And then in a lower voice she said, 3 times. Listening to this, the guests got up and ran out of the house. Just then Shyam came home and saw the guests leaving. He asked his wife, "Did they have lunch?" Madhu replied, "No, they left abruptly." Shyam asked, "Why? What happened?" Madhu replied, "They wanted this pestle, but I told them I cannot part with it as my mother had given it to me." Shyam got upset with his wife and said, "We must give our guests whatever they ask for. I will give it to them and bring them back." Shyam ran after his guests carrying the pestle, shouting, "Stop, I will give it to you." The guests looked back and saw Shyam running after them with the pestle and thought that he was coming after them to hit them with it. They broke into a run. The whole village saw Shyam with the pestle chasing after the guests. Soon the word spread in the village that Shyam was a generous host, but he would hit his guests with the pestle, gentle taps, 3 times. Thereafter, no guests came to Shyam's place for lunch, much relief to his wife. There is always a solution to every problem. One should think wisely.